Hey guys, your pal Victor here, and we're at the press screening for Thanksgiving by Eli Roth. Find out what we thought right now. Hey guys, it's your pal Victor here from Cult Classics, and we're here to talk about Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, the long-awaited spin-off from the fake trailer from way back in 2007's Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez double feature Grindhouse. If you've never seen Grindhouse, which I feel is unlikely if you're watching this video, but if you've never seen Grindhouse, it was basically packaged as a double feature. It was one film by Robert Rodriguez called Planet Terror, which is like kind of a play on John Carpenter sort of movie. And then right after that was Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof, which was, basically like a play on like a serial killer car movie, stunt people, fun movie. But in between both of these movies, there were a bunch of fake trailers, like an intermission, if you will. And here's what I'll tell you. We're now in 2023, and a lot of those fake trailers have become real movies. There was Machete and its sequel, Machete Kills. There was, in Canada, Hobo with a Shotgun. And now we've got Thanksgiving by Eli Roth. And, like a lot of people, I feel like coming in, I expected this movie to be a piece of trash, like, most of Eli Roth's recent stuff. I'll make it a point to say I'm not a huge Eli Roth fan. I'll say the best Eli Roth thing I ever did was the Eli Roth Goratorium haunted attraction in Las Vegas years ago, which had the Eli Roth severed head featured in the original Thanksgiving Grindhouse trailer. So I was coming into this movie with pretty low expectations, which is good, because like if you have low expectations, you're like, all right, we'll see how this movie goes. What I will say about Thanksgiving, dude, this movie really surprised the heck out of me. This is one of the best slasher movies that came out this year. I will say that wholeheartedly. This is a horror comedy very much in the vein of something like Cocaine Bear, which came out earlier this year. And I feel like mixing ridiculous premises with really good gore and kind of a funny a funny script seems to be how horror movies are succeeding nowadays. This is a much better movie than the Terrifier movies, but it very much has that same formula of like really dark humor and overdone gore and making it funny, sort of like Cocaine Bear. This movie's also a big love letter to slasher movies. I mean, it's obviously a parody of Halloween, and you get that right from the opening shot, which mirrors a lot of the young Michael Myers stalking Judas stuff from the original 1978 Halloween. But it's also a kind of like a tribute to a lot of like Canadian proto slashers. It's like Bob Clark stuff like Black Christmas. It also has very, very, very strong vibes of Happy Birthday to Me. If you've ever seen this movie, you should actually check it out. It is much like The Heels of Black Christmas. It's a movie whose ending doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's sort of that proto whodunit thing that like Scream did much better in the 90s, and that we're seeing a lot now. So now it feels kind of new. But yeah, like you love stuff like Happy Birthday to Me, Black Christmas, Halloween, the original Friday the 13th, the Victor Miller, Sean Cunningham version, not the 2009 remake, you need to check this movie out. It's super fun. The performances are really good, especially with a lot of unorthodox cast, if you will. This movie makes great work of a lot of, what you would call B actors like Gina Gershon and 2023's sexiest man alive, Patrick Dempsey, who has a very big role in this movie. And I was very shocked to see him in this movie. You can't buy me love, but you can buy me a good role in a horror movie. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, this movie's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. The gore's great. The teenagers, they're the whole thing. The opening set piece of this movie is a great echo on commercialization. It feels a little out of time now just because of the whole Black Friday thing being more of an online thing, but it's fun. And there's a lot of gore here. And honestly, one of the few things I can say about this movie is I really feel they could have turned the gore in this movie up like a few notches. And there's some good kills here. I almost feel like they set up some great kills here and kind of just like, now let's go to a different thing. Like there's one in a diner here which involved the setup for a kill, which is not the kill that actually happens, involves a freezer door and like scalding water, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. And then like, nope, it's just the setup. So it's kind of like when you see something like Final Destination where you think you're getting one death scene and then it turns out to be something completely different. I will say this movie has a great gag death scene at the beginning that I was like, I haven't seen any other movie do this, and I feel like I'm gonna see it in a ton of shitty indie horror movies now. And props for Eli Roth for like nailing this gag death scene involving a sale. So I'll just say that much, like a sale sign. So but yeah, overall, there's a lot of teens in this movie I don't really recognize. Addison Rae, I know from TikTok, she has a funny part, not utilized as well she could have been. But overall, the other thing I will say is this movie, to its credit, utilizes almost every gag from the original 2007 Thanksgiving trailer. And a shout out to my friend Danny Wynn here, who had made a point of like, why don't they use the white meat, dark meat, all will be carved? They do use it in this movie. You have to look for it, but it is wedged in here. So I will give her a shout out because I was actually looking for it and I found it, so it is there. So you kind of have to keep your eye open for it. But I will say, and I'm going to play a little clip from it, there's one great scene in the Thanksgiving 2007 trailer that's not in there, featuring Michael Biehn in a little cameo where it's like, blood. Shit.
It's blood. Son of a bitch.
And man, I wish they'd fit that in there. But other than that, every other gag except for, and the the Eli Roth and Jordan Ladd in a convertible gag is also not in here. But really, it's blood. That one I wish had been in there. But every other gag in the trailer is in there, including the human trussed up turkey. Yeah, that's in there. The whole scene with that stupid, it's not a spoiler if it's in the trailer. And that's actually what I liked about the original Machete, is that they managed to keep most of the scenes from the original trailer in there. So props to them. So I've been talking for a minute, but that's all I'm going to tell you is, guys, Thanksgiving is actually good. I know, I'm shocked. I didn't think it was going to be. I would watch this again. This is probably going to become a horror tradition movie. And thank God, because aren't you sick of watching Blood Rage? There you go. So on the Siskel Ebert scale, I will give it 2 sickles up. Check out Thanksgiving in theaters November 17th. See you guys.